The title of their next single, Hellraiser, released in April 1973, epitomised their rock and roll lifestyle.
Hellraiser didn't get written by mistake. Hellraiser is exactly what Sweet were. You know, there was some definite, pretty wild nights out and a lot of fun.
From spending 7 nights in a Liège jail to getting banned from the Mecca ballrooms, the Sweets' on-tour antics never escaped the attention of the British press.
What happened in Belgium, unfortunately, was, I think it was, you know, on the edge. But what actually happened was a girl got up on stage and Steve put his hand up her skirt and she was underage. And that actually is what happened. And that's why Brian and Steve got arrested. Now, I've never been quite clear about why Brian got arrested, but I do know why Steve got arrested. And I got a call at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning from the roadie. Now, what I was supposed to do at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning, I'm not quite sure. But nevertheless, I got the call that Brian and Steve were in jail.
They were not really segregated. They were in with some pretty hardened, nasty pieces of work, and they weren't put in the same place. They were kept separate from each other. Every time they were brought before somebody, you know, to have some papers read out, it was always in French. It was never given, they were never given English translations, so they wouldn't admit to anything and they would never sign anything.
When I went to see them, and it was this old prison, I mean, it was like an old dungeon kind of thing. And when they came out to see me, there was this thing that separated us, and they were on the other side of bars. And not the kind of bars they would have been like to have been near. And they were bedraggled, and they looked absolutely terrible, and they were scared. And as I say, a sorrier sight I have rarely seen. And I got in touch with the British consulate to see what we could do to get them out. And in actual fact, I think it was 4 or 5 days before we got them out. And they were bound over to come back for trial. Got them out on bail and bound over to come back for trial. And when they came back, I actually said to them, don't go back. You know, it's not as if this is Germany. You know, it's not the end of the world if you never tour Belgium. You know, it's not exactly going to bankrupt you. Don't go back, because if you go back and stand trial, they might nick you. But it did begin to affirm that Sweet were this hell-raising band and not just this bubblegum band, and had a lot more to them that met the eye. And it was good for them in that respect.
The success of the band raised the profile of the writing partnership of Chin and Chapman, who were now highly sought after. This was beginning to put an additional strain on their relationship with producer Phil Wainman.
Having a number one created its own problems, because suddenly your writing team figure that they're, although they started with you, that they're better than you.
I think we probably all got a bit more flash and arrogant.
Nicky and Mike didn't feel that I was doing enough as a manager to warrant being part of the management team.
I think that when you've got creative people, there's always tensions that will, you know, move one way or the other, or, you know, give you... you can almost see why certain people have certain opinions anyway. I mean, I would always have an opinion about the music, the musicology, and the way that the band should be.
There's an old saying, where there's a hit, there's a rip, and it gets heavier, because what you do is you now go on to the next stage, and of course money is, you know, that's the root of all evil. So yeah, it became quite money led, and sure, there were lots of internal politics going on.